Hey everybody. Hola. Look at that. I'm looking at the time on my computer and it says 2 p.m. It doesn't say 2:01 or 2:02. It says 2 p.m. Yay, I made it. Hey guys, hey, let me tell you really quick. It's good to be back. Hope everybody had an enjoyable Mother's Day. If you're a mother, happy Mother's Day, because I didn't see you last Sunday. And to all of the beautiful mothers out there, happy Mother's Day. Who's texting me? Mr. Jim. Who we got today? I want to tell you guys something in 1 second. Cecil, hey buddy. New computer since we last talked. Radios, what'd you get? What'd you get? Butch Magnum says, present on mobile while the wife shops. I have one of those. Mobile and a wife that shops. Yow, Lyle is here. Hey, Jeffrey. Super Cine 100, evening. Afternoon here, but that's why I usually have good morning, afternoon, evening. Hey, Katie, how are you? Bonnie is here. The ladies are in the house on time. Yay, Bonnie. Made it. Mike is here. Jeffrey Feingold. Yes, I did see your wondrous deal. Jeffrey, no need to rub it in. Hello, everyone. Just came back from a camera fair with a Blue 6008S. I have one of those, Jeffrey, and I wish mine, the audio doesn't work on mine. I tried sound film in mine, and it got all bungled. I got a pretty good deal on mine. I don't think I got as good a deal as you, though. You have to let me know if it works. Let us all know. Hey, Jack's here. Hey, buddy. Sprocket is present and accounted for. Morn Easter good. Hey, Eric Matheson. So check it. Hold on, let me check something really quick. Okay, you've got about 20 people chilling in the room. So guys, let me tell you really quick. I'm going to do everything I can to get through this full, good, fun cycle because I have a lot of stuff I want to talk about. But I don't know if you can tell, but I'm quite under the weather right now. Hey, Jim Cahill is here. So, yeah, I know. Jim just texted me. Jim Cahill. It is going around. My daughter just had it. Whew. I think it's just a cold. I hope. But I'm very, I don't want to get into all of it. You guys know what it is. So I'm going to do my best to get through this because I've missed everyone. And I know there's no doubt you guys missed me. I mean, why wouldn't you? Yeah, I don't know. So, oh yeah, I'll be fine. Thank you, Lyle. It's just a cold. But it's one of those, it's just, just enough to nag you. Just naggy. I won't tell you what, other things might be naggy, but it's just naggy, We have some interesting stuff. Did my microphone pick that up? My wife is in the other room cataloging books. And I heard something about, you better not be calling me naggy. My wife is anything but naggy, I have to admit. She is wonderful when it comes, she's just a good person. And I'm only saying that because she's about 12 feet away from me. Oh, she's a good person. Let me see. What did I miss? FPP is selling what? Is that film from FPP? This one is. I'm just was going to remind, did I see, is Barry in the house? Barry, where are you at? Oh yeah, Barry's here. Did I say good morning to Barry? Good afternoon. Hello, buddy. Yes, Bonnie, it is. This is FPP Cine 16, black and white, 400 ISO film. I can't remember ever shooting a roll of this until now. I'll explain in 1 second. I had to buy a new computer since my old one was killed by a cup of coffee. Yeah, we don't want that. You guys know the British version of the Office, the show The Office with Ricky Gervais? It just reminded me, radios, of his safety session where Gareth, he's given that safety session to the pretty girl in the office, and he sets his coffee mug on top of the computer. And she's supposed to say whether it's safe or dangerous. and it's literally on top, the old monitor. Remember the big old monitors? And of course she says, dangerous, and he goes, yep, very good. So he scoots it. He's confused on what to do because he just wants to spend time with the pretty girl. And he goes, he slides it to the other end of the top of the monitor and asks the same question. I don't know why I brought that up, but that reminded me. Let's see what's going on. Okay. I see FPP is now selling expired Plus X in 60mm on 50-foot rolls. Sounds like perfect for you, Mike. I think it's $25 a roll, but late 90s stock. And the good thing about that is, Cecil, and you know this because you shoot black and white too, late 90s Plus X, I mean, if it was not stored, you know, near the surface of the sun, it's probably going to be still in pretty good shape because it holds up well. It's a very slow speed film, and it just holds up well over time. I've shot a lot of old Plus X. Yeah, Jeffrey, where's Jeffrey Feingold? I think he mentioned it, the price he paid for that. 266 smackaroonies. Camera runs, power zoom works. We'll see whether the rest of it does. I mean, you're already in the plus. You're already in the plus side. For 266 and it runs? Whoo! Woo! Great job. I can't remember what I paid for mine. Jim Cahill, do you remember? You and I talked about it, but I don't remember what I actually paid. 250? 300? I was in that range, Jeffrey, but mine, the sound head doesn't record on sound film. I wish it did, but it doesn't. Bonnie says, I have plans on maybe starting to develop a 200-foot magazine for Super 8. So what are you going to do, Bonnie? How do you have a process for that? You have to cut it, right? I did a 200-foot roll, but I had to cut it in half and put it on my 100-foot G-Now. Speaking of G-Now, my good buddy, Jeffrey Overby, Pixology, sent me, it's in my hand, I just don't want to pick it up yet. You remember the 100-foot reel that he had 3D printed, that he 3D printed for me? The 100-foot reel? Well, he sent me, just for gits and shiggles, he 3D printed me a 50-foot spiral, which was really, really cool of him. This is almost identical to the UPB-1A that I use almost daily. So I'm going to test out the 3D printed UPB-1A spiral, and I believe it works exactly the same in the same tanks. So I have a couple of tanks. I have 3 UPB-1As. One of them, the spirals don't work all that great, but the tank is perfect. Hello. Got all the parts for it. He 3D printed all the parts. Look at that. The center piece and everything. Spacers. He's a good dude. I don't know if he's here, if he's going to pop in, but thank you, Jeffrey. There's a lot of Jeffreys. So I have to specify last names. Jeffrey Overby from Pixology. Pixology Digital Solutions, I believe. Putting with you, she must be a saint. Nicole, Jim Cahill said, you must be a saint to put up with me. You're not supposed to agree with him. She is. She's a wonderful, wonderful person. Nothing new camera-wise radios. Yeah, but you got a new computer. Hey, there's Jeffrey. I think I already acknowledged Jeffrey, but it's always good to acknowledge Jeffrey again. This side towards the screen. I might be putting my into emergency care. What? To emergency care. Lung infection been going on for 2 weeks. Lots of people have it here. Uh-oh. Are you home resting now, though, Jeffrey? Hopefully. I hope that gets better for you, bud. I really do. Yeah, don't let that mess with you. Do not let that mess with you. Oof, getting sick's terrible. Sucks. And my wife will even tell you that us fellas, she says we take it worse than the ladies, and I have to kind of agree with her. Woo! All right, yes, Barry. I did finally shoot this. I finally shot it. Barry sent this to me. It included processing and scanning from FPP. He was given it, or he bought this, and then he wasn't going to be able to shoot it. So he said, Mike, here, why don't you take care of that for me? There's the box. But as you can see, Barry, it's empty. And I don't have the film here anymore. I kept trying to just figure out what I wanted to shoot with it. And what I finally settled on, Barry, is after attempting to shoot it in my, it's put away now, in my, because it's single perf. After attempting to shoot it, oh, it's double perf. So I'm actually glad that it didn't work. I didn't realize it was double perf, but can we all settle down? I tried to shoot it in my K3 Super 16, but it kept bungling on me. It kept accordioning inside there, doing what K3s like to do. So I finally took it out. I think I ruined about 10 feet of film. And then I just got, I don't know, confused on what I would shoot on it. And I finally settled about a week ago on maybe doing a little quick review of this roll of film. And the way I like to review rolls of film is I put it in my Aeroflex 16S, that's right up above my head there, put it on my tripod right in front of me, busted out the 10mm lens, opened it up to about f2.8 to f4, I can't remember, and then shot it right here in my office at 24 frames per second with my crystal controlled George Jensen motor. And I recorded audio. I can't remember if I used this mic or my old school plug-in mic. I think I used my old school plug-in mic into my Tascam recorder. I sent the film off. I had some back and forth communication with Mike at FPP, and I sent the film off to him. I will be getting it processed and scanned at 4K, and we will see what happens. As long as it comes out, it won't be their fault. As long as it comes out on my, because I don't know if I shot it exactly right. I did meter. The funny thing is I do all this by myself. So you know what's funny? I tried to meter me sitting here and I just couldn't get it right. I put a cardboard box here that was similar to my skin tone. And then I got behind the camera and metered it, and I got somewhere around f3 or 3.2. Well, my lens is 2.8 or 4, and they're hard stopped. So I believe I shot everything at f2.8, which scares me a little bit because I'm focusing everything myself too. So I'm scared that's going to be a little out of focus or a little blown out. I don't know. I'm going to show it to you guys no matter what, so we'll see. So thank you, Barry, again. Thank you. I wish there was a black and white negative Super 8 film. I do too, Jim. I do too. Although 7266 doesn't do a bad job as a negative, I would say that if you're going to process it as a negative, like I do, you want to shoot it a little bit over. 50-foot rolls, perfect for a Lomo tank. Yes, Cecil, absolutely. What a deal. Getting things in person is usually cheaper. Yes, because you can talk them down a little bit. What camera? I think you're talking about that for that film. I shot it in my Aeroflex. Yes. Jeffrey Feingold. I think Mike paid, yeah, it was around 400. So yeah, he got a really good deal. You're right, Jim. Hey, Fritz, finally here. Good that you can get UPB spares. Good that you can get UPBs. Do you know if he does replacement hoses? I think it's an odd size. It is an odd size. I don't know. I don't think he does that. He doesn't do UPBA 1A stuff. He just has fun 3D printing. And he has a little digital studio. I think he and his mom run that. He's in the States. I can't remember what state he's in right now, but I can look it up. But he has toyed with the idea, Jeffrey has toyed with the idea of selling some of these spirals, which I think is a fantastic idea. I gave him some pointers on the 100-footer because it needs some work. Mainly the center post needs to be redesigned. They're in Virginia, Gainesville, Virginia. This is them here. This is the guy that 3D printed for me. He does digital work, transfers and stuff like that. But I do intend to do a full-on video of those spirals at one point. I just got to find the right film to do in them. But I did get a hose for mine. The hose is a little stiff, but it fit, and it was like a gas hose or something. But you're right, they're very tricky to find. Somebody, was it Mike? Maybe he chimed in. I'm a little behind on the chats. But Mike, Flying O, were you the one that had a lead on the hoses for the UPB-1A? I can't remember. There's a bug going around, yeah. Ugh. Oh, good, Jeffrey. Glad you're chilling, man. Get better, buddy. Getting my hair cut. I just got mine cut. Check it out. All of them. My hairdresser's funny. She goes, it looks like we're starting to thin just a tiny bit. Yes, we are. Getting my hair cut. Angus is here, though. I got off work an hour ago, and I'm tired. Well, you know what? Kick back with some coffee, your iPad or computer, and just chill with us. Oh, that's going to be a fun trip, Angus. Have fun, man. I don't have any grandkids yet. Don't know if I will. I don't know. My oldest is only 15. I'm shooting a roll of 400 ISO FPP black and white like yours, and my new Bolex P1 at ASA 200. Shutter half open outside, reduces the grain. It's a grainy film. Yes, in fact, like I say, I talked to Mike Rosso about that film when he was going to process. They're going to process this, actually process it as a positive. They're going to do a reversal process on this, which I'm glad, because when you reversal process, it does tighten the grain up a little bit. So I forgot to mention that. Yes. But if reversal is shot as a negative, do you get better latitude? Yes, you do. Definitely, Jim. Okay, it wasn't you, Mike. Somebody, I can't remember who it was, had a lead on some tubing that worked good for those. I wish I would have remembered who it was. I'll have to dig through some old emails. Did we finish the medium format project? We did to some degree, Lyle. Yes. We're still waiting on my good buddy. I don't know why. I haven't seen or heard. I hope he's okay. I might have to email him. On my buddy Russell Cleve, I know he's in the UK, and he did have a roll of film. I sent him some 120. I know I'm not worried about it. It's just I'm waiting on he and Rich. Rich has been staying in good contact with me. He's having some issues right now, so we're close. We're missing 2 rolls, but I think we'll get them eventually. So Lyle, but once we get that done, I wonder if this is where you're going with that. Are we starting on the next project? Are we starting on the next community project? I used to have small radiator hose and it works well. Regular rubber would be best. Radiator hose is overkill. Yeah, I saw that, Jim. Pencil's ready. I saw that. You're missing the mask that goes inside the back. That you can see where the batteries go for your flash, but then there's a mask that goes under there too, on top of it. Yeah, the hose that I used here, I'm going to show you guys. Oh, it's not in here. Hold on, let me try to go get it. It's in the kitchen drying, because I just used it yesterday. So I will be right there. I want to show you guys it's not ideal, but the hose that I used for my tank, when the hose got messed up, I got it. I'm coming back. Relax. So here's just the base, but this is what I used. It's just a little too stiff. But it's really thick. I just can't remember. It's like a radiator. Mike might be right. It might be like a radiator hose, but it's got what do you call that when there's fiber inside the hose? I don't know if you guys are going to be able to see inside there or not. Yeah, see those little white threads in there? And you can see how thick it is. That's probably I don't know, 3/16 of an inch thick wall. But that's what I've been using. There's definitely no light going through it, that's for sure. I think I just got it at the hardware store. I may have brought the tank with me. Pencils ready. Need to shoot a Super 8 film bad this year. Yeah, get on it. Shipping the Holga to someone who can use it for parts. Holga. Jim, I think you got the one with the flash, right? Reinforced hose. Yeah, this one, I mean, it is definitely not gonna, it shouldn't fail on me. I was almost worried that it would break the base. It's just real thick. Thank you to my brand new member. I have a new channel member. I just wanted to mention this person's name. Justin Sight. I'm not even sure I've seen Justin on here, but I want to thank you so much for becoming a channel member. I have so many great channel members. You can tell when you look at their chats, if their name is in green, they're a wonderful channel member. If it is not, I still love every one of you. I promise you. No guilt. No guilt. But I like to recognize channel members as they become members, so thank you, Justin. That's the Holga that he just got. This is the Holga that Jim Cahill just got. And it is the flash one. It looks just like mine. Right? You guys can see that. Turn the brightness up a little. But he's missing a couple things. I don't remember. I know you're missing the mask in the back. There it is, Lyle. Justin! Yes. Thank you, Justin. Finish the cart of 16 millimeter I got. Yeah, finish it. Hey, Lyndon, how are you? Good to see you here. How about a roughly thematic expired Super 8 roll contest next? Roughly thematic. I like the thought of roughly thematic. That's kind of what we did with the medium format. Just sort of your homeland. I can try to do that for you, Jeffrey. Hold on one second. All good, thanks. Well, I'm glad you're good, Linda. I haven't seen you around in a little bit. I have a Diana similar to the Holga. Yes, it's very similar. Hey, there's Entity. How are you? Yeah, let me get a, I have a little, I'll do my best to measure that for you. I just have a little metal ruler there, and it has millimeter and all that stuff. Let's see, we'll do millimeters. And it's not, it doesn't look perfect in there. Whew. I'm gonna go with, it's about 11 millimeters. And it was kind of a pain to get it to thread on. When you take this nut right here off, you got to push this in and then push the nut back on. So this is a little thick. It says 400 series hose, 12.7 millimeters or half-inch internal diameter. That's what I have on mine. I don't know if you're going to be able to read that. Yeah. Here, let's try this. Let's try that. Yeah, you won't be able to read that. Well, I'm just telling you, it says 400 series hose, 12.7 millimeter or half-inch ID, which is the diameter on the inside, WP 250 PSI. So it's tough stuff. Very tough stuff. I like the thematic idea. Yes. Sprocket says, I have a Holga from the 80s. Someone modded it to take 35 millimeter film back then. Not sure if I will convert it back or just accept it as is. Accept it as I am. You know, you might leave it because they're so inexpensive. For like 40 or 50 bucks, you can get a brand new one. So if you want one that takes 120 film, just get a new one. They're cheap. Very cheap. I got a new camera. You guys want to see it? I showed, Travis came over to my house the other day. Have you guys ever seen, and I got it just for fun, a novelty is $16. Nishika. Who knows what that is? That's a heavy duty hose. Yeah, it is. Who knows what this is? Nishika. Thank you, Bonnie. Ta-da! No, hey, Jason. No, this is a 3D camera. It's 35 millimeter 3D camera from the 80s, or maybe it was the 90s. I can't remember. 4 lenses. I think Noah over at Analog Resurgence did a whole video on these. I did. There was a roll of film in it when I got it, and I processed it. I also took some photos. You're supposed to use 100 ISO film only. The film that I used was really old, so the photos were really dark, so I couldn't really do anything with it. But back then, you got it printed on that lenticular paper, that like hologram paper. You know, it looks 3D. Nowadays, since it's very expensive to do, basically all you do now is kind of make one of those GIF files where they just move 4 frames. What film did I use? I used Fuji, just Fuji 100 ISO. Stereo optic. I think that's what it is. Yes. 4 lenses. It takes 4 different pictures. It uses 2 frames of 35 millimeter film. They're more horizontal. I'm sorry, vertical. The photos are a little bit more vertical, so it takes 2 photos per frame all at once. So if it's a 36 roll exposure, you're going to get 18 pictures. Yeah, 35 millimeter. Lenticular, that's correct. I just like saying that, lenticular. Oh, it's a 4-step camera for stereoscopic pics. Yes. I had one, never got it to work. Well, I will say this, it did work. If nothing else, it's kind of neat just to see the photos. You get 4 pictures, all from, I'm so sorry guys, I'm so, ugh. I know I'm like, I apologize. It's so weird. But it was kind of neat seeing 4 of a very similar picture from a slightly different angle. Fear of missing out. Yes, that's exactly what it is. It's very clunky. It's very big. It's all plastic. It's got a little bit of weight to it. If anybody's interested, there is a company that takes your digital images and converts them to TOW images on a disc, 2 images on a disc to view in a Viewmaster. Ah, I've seen those. I've seen those, Lyndon. That is such a good idea. 2 images from the one. Yes. And they have to put them in opposite sides, right? Because the Viewmaster, whenever you were looking through, you were looking at the far sides. It looked like disc film. Yes. I would like to do that one day. I don't have a Viewmaster, but I used to when I was little. So this might be kind of fun to toy around with once and then put away or put it on the shelf. I figure for $16 plus shipping, it is worth having fun with. And it works. Everything on it works. And its case is cracking apart. Oh, and it came with this too. It came with the original manual. This is back when they included thick manuals, right? The whole thing. Big, thick manual. Whew. All kinds of info in here. But you remember that the manual is, there's a bunch of different languages. So the English part of the manual is like the first quarter. Oh, and it's color coded too. So we're the blue. Yeah. You get what I'm saying. You get me. I'm a member of the UK Stereoscopic Society. Had our 3D conference last weekend. Oh, that's awesome. They used to have one of those for Polaroid 4x5 sleeves, and you'd get about 6 to 8 different photos from it. and you'd have to use Type 57 or Type 107 film at 3000 ISO. Wow. Dang. I've never seen one of those. It's super. I think Queen's Brian May is a big collector of cameras. Who's Queen's Brian May? I don't know who that is. But I like him. All right. I got some more film. Check this out. eBay. This guy was really cool, by the way. He said his grandfather had this film. And he just didn't want it to go to waste. He was hoping somebody would put it to good use. So what better person to put old, expired film to good use than yours truly? You guys look at this down here. Right there. You see that? Developed before. I'll read it. It's Eastman Tri-X Panchromatic Negative Safety Film. Developed before May of 1963. Thank you, Sprocket. Oh, you could read it. The guy, not Freddie Mercury. Oh, the guy. You'll find a lot of Yashicas at thrift stores. Yeah, I haven't seen any at a thrift store. Stereoscopic Russian 120 camera is something I want so bad. I haven't seen those. Apple Vision Pro and camera companies are putting out new stereo optic cameras that you can edit in Resolve. You could probably edit your new camera pics digitally in Resolve. Cool. Yes. Yes, I'm going to try it. I want to take better pictures, but I had my two daughters outside, and I kind of had them. You kind of want to stagger your subjects to kind of give it more of that depth feel. And I had them kind of staggered, and then the tree and the swing, you know, all the things. And they just didn't come out. They're just so dark because the film was so old and fogged. May of '63. I know that's going to be interesting. That might be. Maybe I'll do a. Maybe we'll do a. You know, the unboxing. We'll unbox and shoot and develop and scan and do all that. But I can't develop 400 feet at a time, so I may have to send that one in. Oh, of the band Queen, I got you. Brian May, I know who you're talking about. The guy, not Freddie Mercury. Hey, there's Jim from Greece. Hi, Mike, have the Y2K 90s Image 3D camera. Yeah, these are fun, aren't they? You have one. Sputnik Stereo 120 is what it's called. That's the Russian one, huh? Eric Matheson, Jeffrey Feingold, cool. I have a Holga 120 3D. Does a 3D conference have a homepage? Good question. I got another roll of film I want to show you guys. I was showing this to Travis, and we were trying to work out what kind of film it could be. So my kids and I, well, my kids and my wife, they like this store. There's a store that they like to go to. It's a chain. I don't know how far reach it is, but it's called Five Below. And I once bought a camera there, a little, and it didn't work. I threw it away. A little 35 millimeter camera. It was like $6, and a roll of film. I threw everything away. I couldn't get it to advance. It would just, it was cracking everything. So we went back there because they wanted to, you know, do things. Website company that produces slides from your digital JPEGs. So we went back there, and I looked in their little film section, and I found this, and I thought it was kind of neat. It's by Uptech, 35 millimeter color film, 10 exposures. It was expensive, $5.55 for 10 exposures, but I needed to try something. I needed to shoot it. It's 100 ISO, so I hope that you know, the grain will be in check. But look at the process down here, right above my finger. Can you guys see that? I don't know what kind of film it is. Process ECN2. It's not C41 color film. It's ECN2. That's movie film. So I don't know if they bought a whole bunch of you know, 100 ISO, like 100T or something, or if it's, I don't know. It may not even, it's probably not Kodak film. Maybe it's Fuji, but why, I don't know of any, why would it be ECN2? Anybody have any idea what that film might be? I mean, we're going to shoot it. Maybe I'll shoot it, and then next week's live stream, hopefully, by then, maybe we'll have some answers. Because I'm dying to know what that is. So if you've used that film or heard of it or seen it, Uptech. I haven't, you know, Googled it or anything like that, so I don't know. Maybe it's out there. There's one next to the store I work at. Oh, see, so they're not just here. Search for 3D camera, Toshiba SK 3D 7K 1989. Oh, it's expensive, huh, Jim? Yeah, Cinestill is ECN2, but I don't know. Is Cinestill contracting with them? Because I think Cinestill just repurposes Kodak film. Just removes the remjet and repurposes Kodak. Could be Fuji. Been sat on a shelf somewhere. Yeah, but what Fuji? I mean, yeah, you're right. It could be their Fuji motion picture film. We have Five Below also in Texas. Okay, so it's everywhere. Yeah, I don't know. I wouldn't ordinarily buy film at Five Below because it's expensive. $5.55 is expensive for 10 exposures. I mean, you could buy Fuji 100 ISO, I think, or 200 at like Target or Walmart, and it's like $15 for 2 rolls. So, and that's 24 exposure rolls. So to get 24 exposures out of this, you need 3 of these to get 30. And now you're at $18 almost. With tax, maybe more, 20. So kind of expensive. I don't know. ECN2 is sold by the Film Photography Project. I just sent a roll of 16 millimeter to be developed. It looks like it has the remote like Kodak, but who made it? You mean the remjet, right? I know you probably had a autocorrect. I know what you mean, Jason. Yes, it will have remjet on it. As far as I know, all ECN2 film has remjet, and I just sent them a roll of film myself last week as well. Sprocket says, I have a hangover from yesterday. Eurovision Song Contest. It's a big deal over here, and my country won, so woo! Well, you have to if your whole country won. Do you know of Uncommon Ephemera? Uncommon Ephemera, it's a channel that restores film strips and archives them. Husband and wife team? No, but I already like the sound of it. Uncommon Ephemera. I keep seeing an ad on Facebook and wherever I go, and it's about, I don't click ads, but it said something about found film competition or a found film showcase or something like that from old VHS and stuff like that. I thought about reaching out to them and say, do you guys really want to see real found film that no one's ever seen? Oh, you lost Eurovision. You lost Eurovision, Bonnie. Oh, boy. We need to follow Eurovision sometime. Well done. Out of all the entries, the operatic number from Austria stood out as the best. That's pretty awesome. I don't know it's not Kodak, Jeffrey. We'll find out. I'm hoping. I'm going to develop it. I'm going to shoot it first, obviously. I don't know if slide film. It's probably not. Slide film is not developed in ECN2. I mean, I guess maybe you could try, but it's going to be color negative. It's ASA 100, Jim. 100 ISO. At the convention, someone told me that Cinestill 120 is cut down from 65 millimeter IMAX. That would make sense. That would make sense, Jeffrey. Super Cine 100 says, as far as I know, Fuji Eterna movie film mirrored Kodak Vision speeds. It hasn't been made for quite a while now, possibly out of date, so overexposing. Yeah, I will probably shoot this at 50 ISO. Pop it in the old, I don't know, I might shoot that in my, I'll probably go with the Minolta. I don't know. Not Minolta, with my Nikon. I don't know. I'm going to shoot it this week. Somewhere. We'll go somewhere and shoot it. Jim Cahill sent me something. Check this out. It doesn't work. Thanks, Jim. Sent me broken cameras. He told me it didn't work. And I blasted it with contact cleaner and everything I could think of. As did he. I'm sure Jim did his best with it too. Couldn't get it working. And then the contacts are clean, the battery contacts, but it's not showing anything. It won't show when you hit the battery test with batteries in it, nothing. So there's an issue somewhere with the connection in here. I know Jim didn't pay a lot for it, which is good. And based on that, I think I'm going to try to take the handle off and take some bits out and just get a peek. I might just get a peek in there and see what we can see. You know, we'll do some exploratory surgery. It's the Yashica Electro 8 LD6. Thank you, Jim Cahill. I'm going to try to, you know, give it a bit of surgery, see what we can come up with. If we can't, I don't know. Might go to Goodwill. Bonnie says, honest take, most, including the winner, of this year's entries were bad, and there were only a couple mediocre songs. Okay. Well, the winner won. That's usually what happens, right? I tried every trick I could think of and did not work. Yeah, usually if good old vinegar on the contacts and then a good dose of like spray the heck out of it with contact cleaner, if that doesn't do it, then it's deep. Yeah, Lyndon, I'm thinking the same thing. Wires. Nothing works. Nothing. When you put batteries in it, nothing. You hit the battery test, doesn't light up. Yeah, vinegar, no luck. Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, if that doesn't do it, that's always the preliminary thing to do. But if that doesn't do it, then it's all about surgery. Yeah. Yeah, you're right, Sprocket. There's somewhere between the batteries and the motor, something's broken. I don't know if something popped, something blew out, or maybe, I don't know. Jim, were the contacts real dirty when you got it? Were they corroded? I know Jim paid nothing for it, $10. So I don't know. I want to show you guys something. I've been experimenting a little bit with my... All right, well, it could have creeped in then, Jim. The corrosion will work its way down the wires. Makes you appreciate Bolex. No batteries. Yes. And I tell people this. This is why I love that Zenit Cores Super 8 camera. It takes gorgeous pictures. And there's the only batteries, and you don't even have to have batteries in it. The little button cells for the meter. I just shoot manual. And it's just a wind-up Super 8 camera. Excuse me. Nothing can go wrong with it. Well, I shouldn't say that. I'm sure something can. This is not about monetary value. We would even save Bentleys. Yes. Bentleys. We would. I did not process it yet, Jim. Jim sent me a found film with it as well. I have not gotten to it yet. Mike says, I've had success with 2 of those Yashica Super 8 cameras in 600 and 800. I had to replace the main power wires and resolder a few corroded connections. Yeah, I'm thinking I may have to. I have plenty of wire and a bit of soldering knowledge. So we'll see. Not easy. Okay, the film was in that camera. Oh, it was. Okay, good. Then I need to make that note. You probably wrote on there, though, Jim. You're really good about making that note, but the film is right in there, so yeah. So here's what I did. My wife got me a Kodak Reels. You guys saw it. I showed you the box. I don't have it in here with me, but I started doodling with it. It says the vertical resolution is 1296, which is a step above 1080. I was a little bit intrigued by that, so I want to do a review of the Kodak Reels. So I started doodling with it, and I got a couple of things I want to show yins. Will we see Reels footage? Yes, you will see some footage from the Reels. However, you're not going to see normal positive footage. What I mean by that is you're not going to see footage from like grandma's footage, you know, like old school reversal film. That's going to come with the review, which is coming. But what I wanted to do, the Wolverine Pro and the Digit Now, I have two, they're both the same, and the Digit Now Pro or whatever, the 1080p units, they both have the provision built into the software where you can scan negative film, and the scanner itself inverts the image. I expected Kodak Reels at $400 would also have that, but it does not. However, with the Wolverine, I'm sorry guys, I'm really like, with the Wolverine, I can tell you, I had to scan it as negative, because when I scanned it to invert in the machine, when I tried to correct the colors and whatnot, it was a lot harder to do than just inverting the image in software in post. So I wanted to experiment and see what would happen if I scanned a roll. By the way, here's what I scanned with it so far. I scanned this, which is a positive film, a reversal, from back in the day, from the 70s probably, some old Super 8 from somebody. It's a Parade, so there's lots of colors. I scanned it twice. I overscanned as wide as you can go, so you see part of the sprocket hole, and then the whole frame, and then the upper and lower. I also scanned it kind of tight, so not overscanning it. So I did that twice. I also scanned plus X, negative film. It's a reversal, but I processed it myself as a negative. I wanted to see what black and white negative would do, scanning it as a positive. Does that make sense? So my final result is a negative image. And lastly, I scanned this, which is 50D that I shot. This was from my wife and I, just a roll that I shot on our anniversary when we went to Amelia Island. So this is the roll that I'm going to show you. And there's a couple things I want to show you. Jim, you're right. Mine, I could not get it to scan right with negative film, the Wolverine. It just isn't. First of all, these machines, these low-end machines are not made for negative film. I'm here to tell you, they're not made for negative film. And you're going to see why in 1 second. Radio says, Coors is the better Super 8 wind-up camera for the Bell & Howell 311 broke me. You can't beat the Coors. And they're inexpensive, usually under $100. Oh, I like that, Jeffrey Feingold. The Coors double Super 8. I might have to look into that, because I need a good double Super 8 camera. Found a Chinon Faisal 2 standard 8 camera for a few pounds. It takes batteries. 1960 year manufacturer, motor turns. That's a plus already, Lyndon. I have 3 of those working Yashicas. I love them. I will be doing a test of those cameras with some 100D. Yeah, reversal film, they do a fair job. I've got to tell you, if you have an old little batch, they do a fair job. There's a good bit of compression artifacts. You're going to see in a second the artifacts. Isn't it funny that those cheap scanners apply all those fancy effects? If you want just a raw image, you pay extra for that, I know. So here's what I did. I took my roll of 50D, and if you've ever worked with 50D before and seen the negative image, you're going to know that it's very orange. The orange layer is extremely prevalent in ECN film. So when you scan it in one of these scanners, the scanner has no idea what you're doing. It's very confused. I set everything on default, which is right down the middle. All the exposure, all the sharpness, the tint, everything was right smack dab in the center. It's not an overscan, so it's not all the perforations and all that. But let me show you. I'm just going to show you. I got to tell you, I worked on color correcting this footage for almost an hour. It's only 3 minutes long. That's how bad it is. And it's still, I have to tell you, well, I'm just going to show you. You guys can watch the video I did years ago, well, maybe not years ago, a couple years ago, on the Digit Now scanner. And I scanned a roll of 50D in that as well. And it came out very similar. Let me find it. There it is. Okay, I'm going to show you. Get your popcorn. Don't get too excited. It's nothing. It's just me and my wife. We're kind of walking around. This was downtown Amelia Island, and we're going back there next month. So let me show you. This is the finished product, as good as I could get it within my very, very limited color correcting abilities. All right, here we go. Lights. Yes, I know that, and you look in the low lights, and I mean, there's blues everywhere, there's purples everywhere. So I'm going to show you guys some photos in a second of what I was working with. This, I'm telling you, is the absolute best that I could come up with out of this 50D. Jim. The clarity is pretty decent. No, huh, Jeffrey? And it's, I was a little bit surprised. There is a lot of compression, but I mean, overall, for $400, I'm relatively impressed, especially with the reversal film that you don't see. Jim, don't take LSD, just see the film. Call me a hipster. Yeah, I mean, if this is what you're going for, I got to tell you, if this is all you got going for you, I think it'll work. I do. If you want to shoot your own film, get into developing, and you want to scan it yourself, this is about what you can expect to see. Now, I haven't tried 100D, a slide film, or the reversal in this scanner that I shot and developed. That might be also a good test. I need to dig some out and see what happens there. Forget the color. The picture quality is great. I'm watching it on a 65-inch OLED. How much quality can you get from 8mm? Anyway, well, that's good to know. I'm gonna probably rewatch this stream back, this part of it on my TV. I got not a 65-inch, but a 55-inch. Now, I did render all of this in a 4K timeline. Or I should say I color corrected everything in a 4K timeline, and that's it. And then I did down-res everything to 1080 for this stream. But it was scanned at 1296. So, again, what I'm trying to get at is, if this is what you have to work with, if you're somebody that's interested in film, but you're discouraged at the fact that it's so insanely expensive, well, with a little investment, you probably could still have a lot of fun with film and get relatively decent results. Let me show you guys. All right, let me see what I missed. Very clean, no dust and scratches. Nice. Yeah, it's not a terrible look. So the color grading that I did, I used 95% of all of my editing, all of my color grading, everything is done in Vegas Pro. That was initially Sony Vegas. It was a Sony company. It was sold to Magix, M-A-G-I-X. And I have kind of kept up with it. It's something I'm very comfortable with. It's in the same vein as Premiere Pro. It's a very high-end, powerful editing software I've used for years. I do need to update it again. I think I'm at 18 and they're up to 22 now. I'm just very comfortable with it, but it's a great great editing program. What am I trying to say? It's great for color correcting if you know what you're doing. A lot of people swear by DaVinci Resolve, and I think they're well known for their color correcting abilities. I'm not really well versed. I use them to stabilize footage. I use that software, but I'm not very good at color correcting in DaVinci Resolve. Nice stuff. Kind of infrared pollution. Yeah, kind of. It is. Jesus, that took ages to find, but the camera I mentioned earlier was a Polaroid graph check sequence camera. That's crazy. That's an interesting name. My Wolverine Pro did not do this good with the one roll and negative I tried. I never tried again. One guy told me to restart the Wolverine Pro in the negative setting and it would work better. It did not. No, that's not true. The negative setting is very tough to get decent images from. I had no luck with it. This is all in the Reels device. The original. Okay, that's a good question, Mike. Yeah. You can see the film okay with plastic film paper, polarized plastic film, Jim. If you could upload a bit of unedited footage from this roll, I would love to try my color grading skills on that. Yes, iMovie is great. Let me show you guys something really quick. Here is, I just took a screen grab. You're going to see 3 different screen grabs, okay? Or screen captures directly from the scan. The first one is going to be the raw scan. This is right from the SD card of the film that you just saw right there. So that's the initial negative image that I saw when I put that SD card in my computer. So what do we know is the opposite of that orange tint? What's going to happen as soon as I invert that image? What are we going to get? We already know what we're going to get as soon as I invert that image. So there we are inverted. Now we're blue. Filled Fanta bottle. Pippi Langstrump. Oh, you people. So that's exactly what I had to work with right there on your screen to find some color. That's all I had to work with to find some color. Now, I did everything I could possibly think of, and that includes levels, white balance, color correction, brightness, contrast, and saturation. Used all of those tools and ended up with this screen grab. That's about as good as I could get it. And yes, you do see inside some of the shadows and a little bit of the highlights. You see the blue tint. I can promise you, the more I tried to get rid of that blue, it started introducing all the other funky colors. So I decided that that's about as good as I was going to get it with my limited knowledge. And there we go. Once again, original, inverted, final. That's what we got. So it's not all hope is lost. Not all hope is lost. I will say this. I think you do get rid of a little bit of the compression artifacts when you down res it back down to 1080. So this thing scans at a weird frame height and width. It scans at 1700 and something width, not 1980 or 1920, 17 something width by 1296 height. So as we know, resolution is truly based on the height of the scan, the pixels in the height. So once I was finished, I took that original scan, put everything into a 4K timeline, did all of my correction, then rendered it all back out at 1920 by 1080. So I down-resed it again from my initial timeline, and I think it does kind of push everything together again. You're taking a higher res scan and you're pushing it all back down into 1080. And that's crazy Piper. For those using black and white, can do the same with the reels. Yes, I did scan. I don't have it available right now. I didn't want to give everything away before I do the video on my Kodak reels. I scanned this Plus X 7276, hi Piper, and this color reversal film. Black and white, I can promise you, is going to be a lot easier. Once you invert black and white, you get a positive black and white image. There's not a whole lot of color you have to deal with. It does need more cowbell. It needs more yellow, Jeffrey. It needs a lot of stuff. And I can promise you, I messed with every setting possible that I know how to mess with. The color wheels, I went from one side to the other. I messed with saturations, the levels, trying to bring the blacks up, the whites up. You know, I just tried everything I could think of, messed with the tint, the white balance, the color temperatures, everything I could possibly come up with. And it's a trade-off. It's an absolute trade-off sometimes. Looks like Seattle Filmworks. This might be. This might be, Katie. But yes, that film does too. Yeah. Seems like the bit of color is desensitized. I can see it's very blue, so it has good blue sensitivity. So the reds and greens aren't developed well. Could this be a developer issue? I don't think so, because it scanned pretty well. Entity, it scanned pretty well when I scanned it in my big scanner. I mean, I develop it myself, so there's always a chance that the developer is off. Filmed that show with Eclair NPRs. That's awesome. Do the same with the reels. You got an M4 Mac like I did, Jim. Needs more cowbell. I wonder if using using Topaz AI video editor on this footage would fix any color. It might. I've heard really good things about Topaz AI. I have not used it myself, but it might. It might. What might be wise to do is get it kind of to where I have it, and then put it into another editor. Because there were a couple times where I was peeking out as far as I could go in some of the settings. Yeah, but you're doing it in reverse though, Mike. I know what you're saying. You're going to try to correct the colors before inverting, but then you're kind of doing everything in reverse. So correcting the orange, I mean, I see what you're saying. I wonder if we just tried to white balance that orange and then invert everything, if it would come out. I might mess with it some more. I don't know. I still have all the originals. It's an i9 Intel Core. That's what I have, Jim, an i9 Intel Core. Yep, flying O, maybe a basement day. Oh, rain. I've had some ECN2 stuff come out blue once because I didn't clean out my development tank. Well, and it has some cross-contaminants from E6 or C41 developers. I imagine that could happen for sure. I'm pretty good about cleaning my tanks pretty well after every use. I scrub them out pretty good with Dawn dish soap and rinse the heck out of them. But, I mean, anything could happen. We're developing over and over again different processes in the same tank. Absolutely anything could happen. I'm out with an old Spotmatic SP, and it looks like big rain is coming. Gonna skip pics today. Get sheltered. To white balance, I always use a piece of empty film and use that as a white balance key. Removes most of the orange hue. Yes, sometimes I'll actually use my white leader too. That's a good idea too. Yep. Empty film. So I'm going to mess with it. I'm probably going to mess with it some more. I don't know. I think there are just simply limitations onto what that tiny little camera is going to pull from the film anyway. I will tell you, I don't have it to show you. It did a pretty good job with colored reversal. Old color reversal of the parade. You guys got to watch that video when it comes out. Hopefully within a couple weeks. You did a good job though. Hey, thanks, Rocket. Again, I just do it by eye. I'm not, definitely there's people that are way, way better at this than me. It's a rebuilt iMac, big hard disk. All I know is it runs better than my old MacBook. Yeah, I did the best that I could, but the color reversal does seem like it has more artifacts in it. You know, it looks like little worms all over, you know, when you look close at it. I like a more solid picture, something that's just more flat, more cohesive. Does that sound right? But I will say it again. Unless your name is Sprocket, king of the perforations, and you created Frankenscanner, picking up something like the Kodak Reels or the Wolverine or something like that is not a terrible idea if you are so interested in the film industry and you wrestle with the thought of the price of everything. It's expensive to get it processed and scanned. Needs a good chroma key editor. I know that. Yeah, well, it needs a lot more than I can give it. Upgrading the Wolverine scanning camera. That would be interesting to see. My problem with the Frankenscanner is that it only does 888. Yeah, I know, but there's nothing wrong with 888. Due to me elbowing my beverage and spilling it all over my place, some unfortunately go, it got in your computer. I've done things like that before. No fun. No fun. One of my lights that I use for my videos fell over once. I hit a cord or something, and it fell right into the USB ports on top of my old computer and broke 2 of them completely out. Whew! And with that, we're going to have to wrap it up, but not before. That was loud. Not before. Are you guys ready? We're going to blindly. You know what? Page number. Somebody give me a page. The first person to give me a page number between 1 and 319. 1 and 319. We're going to read a joke from that page. 324 Sprocket. Oh, 319. So we'll go with Jim Cahill. 109. Page 109. This is Dad talking. What are you up to? His son says, just thinking. Dad says, that must be what I smelled burning. Oh boy, that was bad. That was bad. Let's go back for one more. Bonnie says 24. I like that. That was so bad. Why did the truck driver finally stop farting? He ran out of gas. It's a joke. After that joke hit. My wife told me to apologize. We're a PG-13 channel. Woo! You never know. You just never know. It stinks. Yes, it does, Fritz. Fritz says that stunk. Woo! All right, guys. I'm going to go just rest a little. Blow my nose. But I had a really fun time. Hit the like button, everybody. Thank you, guys. I appreciate that. Hit the like button on the way out if you feel like it. Jeffrey. Oh, I hope you guys enjoyed that. I sure did. I missed you guys. Thanks, Mike. Hi, Piper. And see you on the whoop. How bad was that audio on that last found film? Woo! I got another cameraman Mike coming out, and the audio, I have to just, I'll tell you guys, because you're my live streamers, it's just as bad. Thank you, Jeffrey. See you on the next go around. Cecil, Katie, Barry. Barry, thank you again for this. That review is coming. I promise you. I am so appreciative of the FPP and what they do. Man, they're great for this community. Bentley Sound. Oh, it's all the way over there. Getting back to it again. That's right, Eric. Lyndon, good to see you again. Thank you, everybody. Thank you so much. I love you guys like family. You know I do. I couldn't do it without you. And I will see you guys, as long as nothing crazy happens, next Sunday. I have no plans of not streaming next Sunday. So please stop back in. Don't forget the Filmboy24 community on Facebook. Jump on. Jump on. It's picking up a little steam. We got like almost 90 members now. Peace. Love you guys. See you next